what she ought to think. At last, after she had pondered a while, she thought to herself, "I will go home and ask if it is I or not. Hans will know." So she ran to the house door, and when she found it locked, she knocked at the window and cried out, "Hans, is Gretel within?" "She is whether she ought to be sure," said Hans. "Oh dear then," said she, frightened, "this is not I." Then she went away and knocked at the neighbors' doors. But when they heard her bells rattling, no one would let her in. And so at last she ran back to the field again. Not a healthy relationship. Not at all. Okay, do I want to stop this here or do I want to keep on trying to read some more? I think we'll take this till the battery dies. Okay. Cherry or the Frog Bride. There was once a king who had 3 sons. Not far from his kingdom lived an old woman who had an only daughter called Cherry. The king sent his sons out to see the world, that they might learn the ways of foreign lands and get wisdom and skill in ruling the kingdom that they were one day to have for their own. But the old woman lived at peace at home with her daughter, who was called Cherry because she liked cherries better than any other kind of food, and would eat scarcely anything else, which is probably not a well-balanced diet. Now, her poor old mother had no garden and no money to buy cherries every day for her daughter, and at last there was no other plan left but to go to a neighboring nunnery garden and beg the finest she could get of the nuns, for she dared not let her daughter go out by herself, as she was very pretty, and feared some mischance might befall her. Cherry's taste was, however, very well known, and as it happened that the abbess was as fond of cherries as she was, it was soon found out where all the best fruit went, and the Holy Mother was not a little angry at missing some of her stock and finding whither it had gone. The princess, while wandering on, came one day to the town where Cherry and her mother lived, and as passed along the street, the fair maiden standing at the window combed her long, beautiful locks of hair. Then each of the 3 fell deeply in love with her, dudes, and began to say how much he